All right, guys, we're going to do a quick little video on the coordinate grid. We're just going to do a little bit today, and we will move into the whole coordinate plane later on in our next unit. But for right now, let's just do a quick review on the coordinate grid. So if you look at a coordinate grid, really, it's just two number lines put together. So if you see this is a number line, you know how to do this, and basically it's just one of them turned, starting at 0, 0, and it's turned. Okay, so it's just two number lines that one has been turned. So if you look at it, looks like this. A couple vocabulary words. This is my x-axis. X-axis. This is my y-axis. The one that goes up and down is my y-axis. If you will notice, they both start right here at 0, 0. Okay, that's called the origin. And then we'll get into it later. You notice how it actually breaks it into 4 different pieces. These are called quadrants, and we'll get more into that later. Today, we're just going to focus on this area here, only this part, which is called quadrant 1. All right. So let's look at this. I'm just going to read this to you. The graph below shows a point on the coordinate grid. So here's my point on the coordinate grid. Each point is described by an ordered pair. An ordered pair are 2 coordinates. The numbers are coordinates on the point. The grids are formed by 2 number lines. One is vertical, one is horizontal, called the axis. That's what we just talked about. All right. So here is my point, 3, 4. So this point right here gives me actually 2 descriptions. It tells me what the x point is. That's the x, that's my 3, and what my y point is, which is 4. So that forms 3, 4. And you notice they're right on the line, not in the box. They are on the line. Okay. So when you look at a coordinate, it's going to give it to you like this. It's going to look like maybe this. Okay, so that's 2 points. The first number tells you the x coordinate. The second one tells you the y coordinate. The first one you go right or left, and in this case we're only focusing on this part, so it's going to go right, and then the y value will go up or down. In this case, we're just going to go up. All right. So if I have 4, 6, that means I always start at 0, 0. Always start at 0, 0. So 4, 6, that means I go over to 4, oops, right here, and then I would go up to 6. Okay, and then I would put my point. Do not, my arrow's making a lot of crazy things going on right now. Do not draw the lines. Just put the point where you end off. Okay. All right, so let's just look at some. Let's sit there and see if we can identify all of these points. All right. So let's look at the first one. So let's find A. What is A describing? It's pointing, it's not pointing to a point, it's pointing to this whole line here. So what would that be? A is my x-axis. Okay. Let's find B. So B is a point, so I know that I need to show a point here. So that means an x and a y coordinate. So if I look, I'm going to start here, and I always go first to the right. So I would go over to 3, and then up. Oops, I'm not going up at all, so I'm staying at 0. So that would be 3, 0. Okay. Let's try C. C is a point again, so that means I need to show my coordinates. I'm looking for my x and my y coordinate. So I start at 0, 0, go over 2, up to 1. So over 2, up 1. So the coordinate is 2, 1. Let's look at D. D is another point, so I need to make my coordinates. So I would go over 1, up to 2. Over 1, up 2. E is still a point, so I would go over, oops, I don't go over at all. So I just start at 0, because I'm not going over at all. And then I go up 3. Okay? And my last one, F. This is not looking at a point, it's looking at whatever this line is. So that is my y-axis. Okay? All right. All right, now how about you try? So I would like for you to draw this. You can use lines on your paper to help you draw this. It's just going from 6 to 6 on each side. So the X's go to 6, the Y's go to 6. So draw this on your paper, and then I want you to, let's go ahead and label these. I want you to go ahead and plot these coordinates. Plot these coordinates. And when I say plot them, I want you, I'll do the first one with you. So A is 6, 3. So you go over 6, up to 3, and plot your point. And then since it's labeled A, you're just going to put an A by it. Okay? All right, pause the video, go ahead and do this, and then come back and check your answers. All right, go ahead and check your answers. Make sure your C and D are correct. Okay? All right, this was just a quick review because this is going to bring us into when we work with ratio tables, and we're going to start graphing our ratio tables. So if you have any questions about it, make sure and let me know. Have a great night.